chapter 3, verse 23. Thank you to each and every one of you for being with us today. Your presence, prayers, and thoughts show how much Amma was loved, admired, adored by her family, students, parents of students, friends, and colleagues. Amma was a devoted wife, mother, teacher, friend, and colleague, and I thought I would speak to you a little about my memories of being her son that highlight some of her distinctive qualities. I regard Amma a pioneer amongst women in 1960s Jaffna. She left school and immediately knew what she wanted to do: teach and make music. That was a passion. When she had me in Jaffna, she was determined not to let it affect her teaching career and placed me in a cot next to her while she continued her usual diary of teaching. When I grew up a little, I had a little table and chair to sit next to her, doing my homework whilst also memorizing Mozart and Beethoven sonatas, Bach and Chopin being played by her students. Amma had enormous courage. The two of us left Jaffna for good in the middle of the night with just the clothes we could carry and my quarter-sized violin, escaping from the LTTE, who were trying to force Amma to recruit and train a military band for them. We had no clear way of getting to Colombo, and when we got to Vavuniya, we got stuck. And Amma prayed very hard for God to show us a way. Then a boy from whom we had bought some food earlier came to us and said, "Amma, on the bus Colombo ko." So we got on it and reached Dada in Colombo after not having contact with him for a few days. Dada used to say, "Amma thinks we are also her students," and I was. I didn't have any extra special music lessons from her. She fitted me in when she had a space, and I was told of just like any other one of her students. She also demanded high standards, discipline, and perfection. Nothing else. She used to wake me up on school days at 5 a.m. to revise, and packed away the TV and games when term exams were approaching. I remember when I returned from collecting my A-level results, which I worked very hard on to please her, and I proudly told her I got 3 A's and a B. Her only reaction was, "A and B edutani." Many of you would have experienced Amma's matchmaking skills, which I called interfering, and confidently told her it was never going to happen to me. But it did. She was a brilliant judge of character and was very honest about it. When she introduced me to Sabina, she was very clever about how to convince me that she was the one for me. Whilst I was getting to know Sabina, she would call quite frequently asking, "Enna nadakkudu?" She adored Sabina and always told me what a nallapul that she was and how to respect and treat her well. Our Saturday mornings will never be the same when we Skype her at 9 a.m. sharp. And the first words I'd hear her say is "Sabina anga," because I was not very good at giving her all the news. Amma didn't care for money. She was incredibly generous. She never kept records of fees paid by her students and would sometimes even pay the exam fees out of her own pocket. When I asked her why, she would say, "I do it as though I do it for God, and don't have to worry as there is always more coming in than going out." She was also immensely careful, considerate, and thoughtful. I'm sure most of you have experienced this. She never had a bank account, but after I moved to the UK, she opened one saying that she was going to put money in there so she could use it to buy me airfares back to Sri Lanka. Amma's daily routine when I was in school was to wake up at 4 a.m., spend quiet, private time with the Bible and prayer before cooking for the day. She would also end the day on her knees. I always admired the quiet confidence in her relationship with God. It was private and it was perfect. She was never afraid of death and lived her life to the fullest and exactly the way she wanted to. She frequently told me that she will work till the day God called her and prayed that it would be a quick and painless path to heaven. God has answered her prayers. I am proud of her example and the way she lived, and she will be with me in everything I do in the future. I am sure she is singing with the heavenly hosts. Amma loved this church. We started worshipping here in 1990 when we arrived from Jaffna, and I could never forget the decades I spent singing with her and Dad here. One Mothering Sunday, she taught me a song, and wanted me to sing it. And I was terribly embarrassed as a teenager, but she made me do it anyway. So I thought I would end my tribute to her today with this song. Mother of mine, when I was young, you showed me the right way things had to be done. Without your arms, where would I be? Mother, sweet mother of mine. Mother of mine, you gave to me all of my life to do as I please. I owe everything I have to you, mother, sweet mother of mine. Mother, you gave me happiness, much more than words can say. I thank the Lord that He bless you every night and every day. Mother of mine, now I am grown, and I can walk straight all on my own. Without your love, where would I be? Mother, sweet mother of mine.
I read out to you a tribute sent from Joy's brothers and sisters abroad. Our precious loving sister Joy, it is with deep sadness we say we have lost our loving, precious sister, Peace Joy Nyanadure. You brought joy and peace to our family. You showered your love on us by teaching to sing four-part harmony, and music was your passion. You have done your best for the two schools you visited and to the private students. They have come out with flying colors in their music exams. You have run the race and finished the course, and now you are resting in the arms of Jesus. Take your rest, our sister. Thank you for all what you have done for the family. We will continue to love and remember you forever until the Lord comes to take His children home. To Richie, Dylan, and Shabina, be assured of our prayers for comfort and strength at this time of great sorrow and sadness. Our loving Father will sustain you these difficult days. Thank you, and God bless. From brothers and sisters abroad, Jerry Anna, Anton and Nina, Grace and Rudy. We shall now sing the second hymn on the hymn sheet, What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
All our sins and griefs to bear. Psalm 121, a song of the saints. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from?
My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth.
He will not let your foot sleep. He who watches over you will not slumber.
Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand.
The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night.
The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life.
The Lord will watch over